Which one?
Oh, it's in 1980.
1980.
Okay. All right, Kurt Russell, I see you. See?
In a world
Where tomorrow's blockbusters reign.
And yesterday's classics are forgotten.
3 women intend to remember.
Hey everyone, welcome to Millennials at the Movie House, the podcast where your average Janes watch older movies and answer the question we put to ourselves. Are they still relevant and should we still be watching them today? I'm Betsy.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Serena.
I'm Erin.
It's Erin!
Woohoo! We have a guest today.
We have a guest today. So, Erin, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, ever.
Ooh, this is good.
And we're drinking tea.
Dessert tea.
Dessert tea.
Yes.
It says right here,
it
it
is
is a dessert wine. Hey!
Yes!
She can stay. She can
That was your
stay.
test.
Twinkies,
You passed.
Twinkies and port are good.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
She now has to commute 5 hours.
Okay.
So today we watched Used Cars. It was 1980, written and directed by Robert Zemeckis, and Bob Gale was another writer. I don't know who that is. Do you know who Robert Zemeckis is? Starring Kurt Russell, Jack Roden, Garrett Graham, Frank McRae, and Deborah Harmon. Erin picked this movie.
I did.
Erin, how did you come across this movie?
I Googled underrated comedies of the 80s, and this was one of the IMDb, results on there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Had a lot
But
of
what
good
was the
reviews.
selling point of this movie?
Kurt Russell, obviously.
Exactly.
Of course it was.
Of course.
80s Kurt Russell, yeah.
I think I might have to
Good
go
luck.
on like a Kurt Russell binge after this. Yeah, like
Yeah.
80s
Yes.
Kurt Russell binge. Yeah,
Those dimples, though.
and the
Chin
butt
chin?
chin.
butt
The
chin,
butt
the
chin.
dimples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So handsome.
All right, well, what did everyone think of it?
I loved it.
I
It was
really
funny.
liked it. It
I
was,
liked it.
It was
So
cute.
funny.
I thought
Yeah.
it was very cute. Like, it really did end up being cute.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was good.
I wasn't expecting the nudity, but I didn't hate it.
I have comments, but it lost me towards the end. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, 3/4 of the way, I'm like, okay, where the hell are we going?
I think we
And
felt
then
that
all of a
was true, yeah.
sudden, we took a pee break, and when we came back, it was like so much
All hell
better.
broke loose.
It was
did.
funny. It was like
funny.
it was like kismet the way that where we chose to break because
Yeah.
when we broke and you guys like went off and did your thing, Erin and I were like, how is there 40 minutes left in
Yeah.
this?
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
How?
Yeah.
I was sure we were coming up to
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah, and
And
it
then
ended strong,
it was-
and then I was
yeah.
like, okay, I am invested. Yes, I
Yeah.
need to watch
Yeah.
the rest of this movie. Yeah.
This is why we had another 30 minutes of the movie.
I was
Yes,
wondering.
that is
yeah.
true.
Exactly why.
Yes. And it's worth it.
It was worth it.
Yep, that is fair. Quick synopsis, Tracy, go.
Okay. So, we enter in a used car lot, and Kurt Russell is one of the players, or the sellers. We find out that the car lot that he works at, the owner Luke has a brother Roy who has another used car lot on the other side of the street, and there's this rivalry going on, and Roy kills Luke, and they try to cover it up. Basically, Kurt Russell is trying to earn enough money so he can run for Senate. Enter in Luke's long-lost daughter, and there's a love thing going on, and we need
Hijinks
to get
ensue.
and hijinks
Yes.
ensues, and we try to get back at Roy, and Kurt Russell becomes like the good guy. Then there's like a wild car chase scene with like 200 teenagers, and then it ends.
The motorcade.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was that was the movie.
That was okay.
That was
really
not my best. That was not my best.
But at least she still absolutely did better than I would have. There was a lot to cover, I feel like. I don't know. There was a
well,
lot
and
to cover.
I actually made that note. It's actually a really complex plot line for a
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on because there was something about a freeway and then the judge at the it was
Yeah.
it was complex.
There was a lot of different
things
things
happening.
going on.
And it was all dialogue dependent. Like you had to be paying attention to what they were saying
Yes.
in order to understand what was
And
happening.
thank God Betsy does that, because I think she corrected us all.
Listen,
We
Erin
rewind
kept
a
up.
couple times.
Yeah.
Thank God for rewind.
All right, let's jump into the questions.
Nobody saw this movie yet, right?
No.
No.
Before tonight?
No.
Nope.
No.
For some reason,
yeah.
I was sure Erin did, but
No.
I hadn't
This
seen
is
that.
all. Yeah.
No, so we can shit on it if we want to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kurt
I
Russell's
forgot.
dimples definitely made the movie better.
Oh, yeah.
Without-
Yeah,
without
favorite
a
part.
doubt.
Yeah.
Favorite part.
Do you
dimples,
recommend
and
this?
his part
Yes,
that I
yeah,
Kurt
all the
Russell.
dimples. Top of the marquee. What was everyone's favorite part?
His jawline.
Erin.
So I had a couple favorite parts. One of my favorite ones was as Luke, when he was dying, he took the money from the customer because the customer's like, "Oh, $50 won't kill anybody," and he like comes in because he's actually dying,
Yeah.
and so the customer thinks he's like, "Oh, like here," so he's giving him the extra money.
That was
And
like
he takes it.
perfectly.
I
timed.
thought that
was
yes,
a
because it
perfectly
was like
timed scene.
that like it wasn't obvious. Like he kind of just like reached out and grabbed it and put his hand back down.
Yeah.
You know.
The last thing he did.
He was a used car
That's the
salesman.
last thing.
So-
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
used car
through and
salesman
through.
through and through until his dying breath.
Yes.
Right. I also liked the big pothole at the exit of the lot when the kids in the bumper fall out. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. That was
Um,
good.
Yeah, and then
Kids fall out.
yeah, but luckily they had their football.
Yeah,
hero.
they
they
had
were
their
fine, they
helmets
were
on.
fine,
They were
yeah.
fine.
They were resilient.
Nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt. And then the wild stallion cars like
yes.
buffalo on the
Car
prairie.
scene.
Yeah.
Just-
You know,
it was amazing.
I just thought that was
it
really
was
cute.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Good
good.
choices. Yes.
Good choices. Those are all parts where I was like fully engaged, laughing my ass off. So
They were cute.
mine was close to Erin. One of my favorite parts was after Luke had died, Jim the mechanic. First off, his name is
Is
Jim the mechanic.
Yeah.
He is like testing to make sure he's still alive
Or dead.
or
Or
dead.
yeah, with the
And he was
light.
like
Yes.
shining like the desk lamp in his eyes and like, you know,
Yeah.
running his fingers like over his eyes to see
While
if he
Kurt
could.
and Jeff are like talking and like plotting, trying to figure out what to do.
Right.
You just see this like little thing happening.
It is.
Yeah, that was cute.
I don't know why. I thought it was the funniest
Yeah.
thing.
You were.
I was.
trying
I
to
was
figure out what they
dying.
were
I don't know
doing.
why. Say it again.
I was trying to figure out what they were doing at first. I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah. And then of course I love the judge at the end, and not so much. He was kind of a dick, but I don't know. He was a character. He was funny
Yeah.
with the guillotine and walking up to the gallows, and
absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was funny, and of course he is the grandpa from the Munsters.
Of
So,
course.
Oh.
Yeah.
All my scenes are already taken.
Oh no.
No, that's okay. You go next.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
review.
You cram right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part was all of Jeff's superstitions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just like every single scene he was in, you kind of had to pay attention to what he was doing because he was like it was all the different superstitions kind of thrown in. And like the when he's doing the salt and the umbrellas, that was genius.
That
to
was
me.
good.
And
Yeah.
then like at the end, we're like, oh my god, it's gonna be a red car. Like we knew it was coming. We knew it was
Yeah.
coming, and it was there. I just thought that was a clever addition to the plot.
Not only was
Yeah.
it was a red car, it was a fire truck.
Right.
Well, a
the
fire, car.
department
Yeah.
car. Yeah.
I love that you said that, and I'm going to come back to that later when
Okay.
we talk about some other things.
Oh god.
Okay, favorite scenes, obviously that amazing motorcade scene.
It was just.
Where there was,
it was.
It was like
Genius.
hilarious.
Yep.
I feel like, sorry, not to interrupt,
No,
but
it's
I feel like it was, you know how every now and then a movie just has like a proof of concept scene that like, you know that the entire movie was based around this one scene? I feel like that was what that was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but do you know what the movie he did immediately after this was? Back to the Future.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I have that as
yes.
music similarities. Okay, that's in my.
But even like the going 75 and like, or 85 and the, yeah.
Yep.
All right, sorry, Serena, continue.
No, that's okay. I know it's kind of in the realm of with favorite lines. The Radio Shack shout out.
Yes,
Obviously, 'cause
of
I used to
course.
work there. I don't have the full quote, but basically they're looking for supplies to solder something, and they're like, "Oh shit, Radio Shack closes in half an hour. Let's go." Like it's still light out, by the way.
Yeah.
They always closed early.
You're like so true.
That's very
Accurate.
accurate, yeah. And then hilarious scene. I don't know. I just couldn't stop laughing. Was that stripper dancer scene when they're having like that insane?
Trying to get customers.
Yeah,
from
they're
the
like reeling
lot.
them in
Yeah.
with like thongs and like topless bunny nipple covers, and I'm like, what is even happening? And how is this on live? That and the other thing that was on live television where her
Oh,
dress
yeah.
rips off.
Oh yeah.
That one I had a problem with, but we'll talk about
Well,
that
it's
later.
definitely that's part of there's questionable
I
things.
had
It's not
other
really-
issues, but we'll
It's
get there.
wrong on. I put it in my notes. Wrong on so many levels, but like I don't know, hilarious. And all the other scenes that I liked were already taken.
All right, good. Yeah, there were plenty of
Yeah.
gems in this
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was pretty good. All right, ladies, please remove your hats and silence your cell phones. Aspects that did and did not age well. So going back to what you knew I was going to go right into it.
Sexism is on the top of my list.
Yeah, there was sexism there, and but it was flat out sexual assault. Like it was actual. Like they were grabbing her boob. She didn't want to be on the camera.
Yeah.
Like it was,
Yeah.
that was the only one that really I was like, oh, okay, this is going
Yeah.
too far
Yeah.
right here. But
Or like the 40-minute kiss. That was,
I was gonna put
she
that as
started.
my favorite
She was
scene.
reciprocating a little.
well,
I
clearly
think.
they ended up in bed together, but that's
Yeah, she
fine.
liked it.
Yeah, it's just a little weird.
And there was another scene where Barbara's that I forget the guy.
Oh my
God,
god!
yeah.
Manuel, when she's
Yeah.
like getting
Yeah.
down
He was,
from,
like,
he
grabbed.
literally grabbed her
Yeah.
boob, and
Yeah,
she was like, no, like
Yeah.
trying to get
Yeah.
his hand off, you know.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
it's not a 2020 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
shit did
actually-
not fly.
I didn't have like a problem with it, but I felt like it was glaringly weird where it like random sex scenes. Like it had like
Yeah.
whatever, that can be part of the plot, but it wasn't. It was like, oh, let's pan of the car
Yeah.
lot and they're just people having sex. And random couple that wasn't even part, at least that was part of like
Yeah.
the plot. Like there was a guy that we knew in that scene. There was the random couple watching the commercial on TV as they were having sex. I'm like,
Well, and she looked asleep.
I
Yeah,
was
She
thinking
looked
about that.
completely asleep while he was having sex with her while she was asleep, and I was like,
what? Like
this is weird.
Yeah.
Like,
It
she
wasn't
was
even like
asleep.
yeah, it was
Yeah, that
weird.
was
It was like what like you could have totally cut those. And I noticed on IMDb that he does Used Cars, the TV movie, a couple years later. So I don't know if like they re-edited this or if they I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
I'm sure they
Huh.
edited like all of
Oh, I'm
the
sure.
nudity
Right.
and like
To the point where it's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
But, and the thing is, if they bleep out the swears, like there was quite a bit of language. If like they're trying to make it TV, whatever.
Friendly. Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if they dub or just silence it, but it's never pretty. I'm like whenever I catch a movie that's like been like edited, I'm like ugh.
Oh, it's
yeah. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. I mean, let's while we're on the subject of aspects that did not age well, all the pants, all of the hair,
Yeah.
all of the. I mean, it's very indicative of the time period,
Yeah.
but and 1980 is still basically the 70s.
Right. It's not the 80s that we
Right.
know. Think of the 80s fashion.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's like 86 and on.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was almost actually like a good thing that it was so blatant. It was so blatant. But other
I
than
mean they had some racism. They were blaming the
Oh.
Iranian students, I think,
oh,
for
yeah,
the
that's right.
interruption
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
president's speech.
Yeah.
I think they had some things about
Wait, they were blaming the Iranians for the president.
They were blaming
The-
the Iranian students for
shooting up the cars and stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's what I had
Yeah.
because I put down racism Iranian students, and then I saw like the FBI
Yeah, I
And I'm
think
like,
it
what's
was either the
happening?
FBI, the Secret Service, or something.
Yeah.
or Homeland
Yeah.
Security pre-19.
right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
I love it.
Back then.
An aspect that did age well, I think we can all agree, is Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Very
Yes.
good looking.
He is good looking.
He is. He's got the dimples. It's the hair too.
Yeah. He's
I'm
so
sorry,
handsome.
he is beautiful.
He
Yeah.
looks
He's
his,
like a
we were both
Yeah.
like, yes, he's handsome.
he looks his age right here.
He's very cute. I'm telling you, guys and dimples,
Yeah.
like the
Like,
more
I was
dimples,
square
the better.
Jaw, like square jaw.
Yeah.
Not like
yeah.
and not like some guys with square jaw look weird. like,
Yeah.
but he's got like his face is like very symmetrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
More
even like
dimples
the
the
hair on
better.
him. I even like the feathered hair, and usually I don't.
I
And
know.
even I'm like, I'll take it.
I'll take it with the hair.
He's young in this too. He's what did I say? 28
28
or
or 29.
29. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen a movie with him this young.
He was in his prime.
He was. Yeah.
I'm interested. I'd watch it again. I'd watch it again.
All right. Any other aspects? Anything?
I had one. So I thought that didn't age well. Smoking.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was they were smoking
Yes.
everywhere.
And he was smoking a cigarillo.
He smoked cigarillos in when they were at the bowling alley bar, smoking indoors. I smelled Old
could
Mountain
smell-
Lanes.
you
I
could?
smelled
Yes.
Old Mountain Lanes. Our bowling
Shout
alley.
out to OMF
Oh,
and Wakefield.
yeah. I'm like, I smelled Old Mountain Lanes and Chen's, the back of Chen's, where their smoking section was a little corner behind the non-smoke, or like the smoke, it was non-smoking was behind the smoking section.
This sounds like Joy Asia of Marlboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah,
And you know what's funny when I think of Old Mountain Lanes? I mean, I wasn't alive in the 70s, but it's still
It's
felt 70s.
yeah.
70s,
Oh
exactly.
yeah. It's because the shoes were definitely bought
Yeah,
in the 70s.
70s.
I mean, I feel like every town has to have one.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I
obligatory.
think
like,
Roller Kingdom is still kind of like that.
yeah.
The judge was chewing tobacco.
Oh
Chewing tobacco.
yeah, yeah.
But it just like in cars, indoors.
Yeah.
that was just one thing.
The biggest pet peeve is like if an airplane, like if there's an older movie
Yes.
and they're like ripping cigarettes on an airplane, like
so gross.
that's like all you have for, and that's like recycled
recycled air.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they did
just
have
sticks them-
non-smoking and smoking sections on planes, and there's
ridiculous.
no way you can save the
Right.
air from one spot and not another. Like, come on.
I have so at one point when they were doing the commercial where her dress gets ripped off, which wasn't intentional. I mean, it was on the movie's side, but not on in the movie. He says, he's like, I'm gonna make a joke about her tits, okay? And he looks at her and goes, I'm sorry I'm being sexist. I'll take you out for a cocktail later. Like, he acknowledges the fact that he's being a sexist asshole.
And
he's
then
like,
his sexist at the end.
yeah, oh yeah.
Speaking of that scene, can we talk about the fact that Michael McKean and David Lander, yeah, Michael McKean and David Lander. It's a very small role, but they were actively in Laverne and Shirley
Yeah.
at this point. And I don't know, maybe they were just like coming up, so they kind of took what they, just took smaller
Yeah.
roles like that. But I feel like Michael McKean is one of the most successful actors to come out of this movie, and he had a very, very small role. So I thought that was just interesting to note. Okay.
The whole time.
Wait a minute. Aspects that remind you of modern movies. All right, I'm gonna start.
I've got a list of movies.
It's not a modern
go
movie.
last.
It was a contemporary movie, actually, I think. Smokey and the Bandit. Anybody?
I've only seen parts, but
Okay.
yeah, I kind of get it.
It was very reminiscent of Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay,
Just
okay.
FYI for your information. You knew.
I'm like, she's going for it.
And then also a more recent movie that definitely reminded me of was Sergeant Bilko. Did somebody mention that? Did somebody mention that? Oh, okay.
It was you.
I did.
It was you in your head.
Sergeant Bilko. Anybody know Sergeant?
No.
Oh my God, you people.
This is
They're
why
gonna
we're
give
here.
up. Oh
This is
my
why you have us here.
Throws pen.
I did. throw my
Cancels
pen.
the entire
Flips
podcast.
table.
I'm out of here. Call me when you watch Sergeant Bilko.
F this episode.
You know what? I don't really watch
Done.
movies. I don't. I know my husband hates it because he loves to watch movies. I just don't have the attention span usually for movies.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
So,
kind of
yeah.
how.
All right, I'll excuse you this once.
I know, right?
But I won't really watch unless they're rom-coms. But then I will binge watch like 10 episodes of Fuller House.
All right, so does anybody have?
I have so many.
Okay.
Okay,
have-
can you go last?
All right, I'll go
so
last.
many. Okay.
no.
Okay. Opening scene. Sorry, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Opening scene. Somebody, Kurt Russell, Rudy, is under the whatever. Where the pedals
The
are.
dashboard.
Yeah,
He's
thank
under-
you.
under,
He's
like,
under
the
the dash,
dash.
and he's like rewinding the miles.
Yes.
Yes.
And even though I think you mentioned that, it was totally, I was waiting for Danny DeVito's head to pop up and us to be watching Matilda instead.
Yes. Yep.
Like I was waiting for that to happen.
Is he putting back the miles like
Probably.
Matilda?
Yep.
Oh my god, I just totally got a Matilda vibe. I always get Matilda vibes.
Oh yeah.
Just waiting for Danny DeVito's face to pop up now any minute. And then it was Kurt Russell, and I was like, this is even better.
Way better. Yeah.
I'll take
Way
it.
better.
I wouldn't be surprised if Danny DeVito watched this as a reference point for Matilda.
Yeah.
Right.
That was quintessential used car
Yeah.
salesman
Yeah.
situation. Okay, Tracy, you can
Did
go
you
ahead.
have any?
I did.
Go ahead.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
I have
Because
them.
they don't,
Yes.
because they want him. Nobody
Yep.
wants to know that he's dead.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn there was something. So when Luke promised to give Rudy the $10,000 that he needed to become a senator or whatever he wanted to do, I feel like in Weekend at Bernie's, did they meet Bernie and he was going to give them like a promotion, or it was kind of like they were getting to know him, and they kind of wanted to make a good impression, and they were kind of, you know, able to maybe spark a friendship or something with him, and so they were like, oh, this is our shot, we're gonna be able to, you know, go high in the company, and then of course he dies, and so then they're like, well, crap, we need to, you know, we need to like keep him,
play it out,
make sure nobody knows that he's dead, and we can maybe try to parlay it into us still succeeding. So I got that, you know, that vibe definitely. And then another one, so he kind of makes a Jim face from The Office when he didn't look directly at the camera. He did not look directly at the camera, but when he's like, because I think he's trying to get, and I forgot her name, Barbara. He's trying to get Babs. He's trying to get Babs I think he's trying to get her to leave. And then she's like, you know what, I am going to stay.
And does he do like a side glance look or something? Oh, okay.
And so she...
Oh, at the very end of the scene.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. So she leaves a bowling alley. So, yeah. So she does leave. And it's just him, and he kind of doesn't look directly at the camera, but it's definitely like a Jim face. And I was like, oh, that's Office Jim face.
Yes.
So I thought I just thought that was kind of cute. I just, you know,
I
that was funny.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Good job.
I had one, but I actually didn't see this entire movie. But for some reason, with all the cars and like some random like thing that happened, I got like the Dukes of Hazzard vibe.
Okay, with like the jumping over things and landing and
All right,
All
Tracey.
right.
She's like,
Well,
"F
I
you, nobody
had
listens to one."
both Matilda and Weekend at Bernie's, high fives, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It has Kurt Russell in it, but it was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 they made Kurt Russell look young, and and he was in a car with the girl. And kudos to them and I'm sure they used footage of obviously when he was younger.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
So that just
It
a
was
little
the
bit.
hair.
It was
They
the
matched the
hair,
hair.
and so they did a good job there. I got a Mad Max type feel with all the cars.
Oh, okay.
And they were like standing up in the back of the pickup, and then there was like a fight, and
Oh, yes. Yep. With the
Speaking
chains.
of that scene, it also reminded me of that scene in Independence Day where they all coming up to the...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Mostly, it reminded me of The Italian Job. So we have Charlize Theron and Mark Wahlberg with Rudy and Barbara. Barbara was like the daughter of the main guy who dies and then falls in love, but she doesn't really want to fall in love with Rudy, who's going to take over for his father, and she wants to be on the good side of the law. But at the end, she's like, no, screw that other guy, and I'm going to, become one of the bad guys with you guys, because even though you're bad guys, you're,
The
good
bad
hearts.
guys.
Yeah. You're the
better
better bad guys.
You're the better bad guys.
Yep.
So I saw a lot of parallels with it. Of course, the Italian Job that I'm talking about is actually a remake from the Italian Job, I think from the 60s or something.
yeah.
So
So, they feed into each
Yeah.
other. It's fine. I actually had one more on my list that I forgot to mention. And I know it's Kurt Russell, but Overboard. And it's because Kurt Russell is basically the same character. It was pretty
Is that
much
a
the same
comedy?
person.
Overboard?
Yes.
oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite movies.
Okay. I'm writing everything down so I can watch these all.
Like things stop in the house when it's on TV. Like
Oh
it's-
yeah, no, we
it's-
watch it all the time. Yeah.
Okay, so
Highly
it's,
recommend.
it's
To a
all on
point
my
where
list. It's added to my
he
list.
said, I forget what it was, but he said something like, "Okay, guys," and the way, like the tone in which he says it, he also says that same thing in Overboard.
In Overboard. Yep. All right. So note roundup.
There was a quote I liked, and this was Roy.
Oh, you still managed to find you will always
Sorry.
find a quote.
I know. This is Rudy talking to Luke, and Rudy's explaining the whole subplot here is he wants to become a senator, but he's short $10,000 to enter the race. So he's explaining this whole thing to Luke, and Luke goes, "You are the craziest, most irresponsible operator I've ever met. And when you stand there and tell me that you want to be a politician, I know you're right." I just was like, yep, okay.
Yep.
Especially for our current climate.
Exactly. One major point that we also need to bring up is Toby.
Yes.
Oh my
my
god.
God.
His
Acting.
star.
Right?
When he got
Actor.
hit by the car, quote
Oh
unquote.
my
bro,
God.
I mean,
that was some
the
of the
tongue.
best
I
acting. The
forgot
tongue
about
was
that.
out.
Yeah.
His tongue
I mean,
was hanging
he
out.
knew the difference between a flat and Phillips head screwdriver.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he
he
knew.
brought the wrong one the first time.
You're right. You're right.
But
So-
he corrected.
He
He
corrected.
corrected.
You know?
Yeah.
He peed a man awake.
Yes.
He literally, this movie would have gone completely differently had Toby not been in it.
That's
Yeah.
Like
true.
he changed
Yes.
the like direction
Relief. He was
and,
Yep.
comedic relief. A little
Yeah.
bit of relief
and
there.
he was like saved the day and was like, hey, you know.
You know what? If this had been a modern movie, a lot of those things would have been CGI, and Toby would have been one of them.
Ugh.
He would have had like fake eyes or something,
Yep.
and like it would
Maybe
have been.
talked. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep. I mean, let's be honest. This movie would not be made nowadays.
No, it wouldn't. And I can't believe that 4 women are here talking about it in such a
In
positive life
2020.
in 2020 in such a positive life. Except that I don't know what it was. It was funny.
Yeah, it was,
I mean,
It turned out to be really cute.
Yeah,
it did.
honestly
It
really did turn out to
ended.
be
It ended
cute.
really. And if it
Like-
didn't end like that, it would have been a completely
Right.
Different, yeah, different movie. I had that Kurt Russell looks like Tom Brady
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
because he does, or maybe
It's the
I don't know if
chin
it's
and the nice face.
chin, yeah, the square jaw. I also had when she listens to his messages.
Oh,
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's kind of like if you were reading, like if you got into your boyfriend or whatever's phone and you read his text. Like,
Yep.
I thought that was kind of still relevant.
Yep.
thought
Very
that was
low
good.
tech version.
Low
of
tech
it.
version
Yeah.
of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that same scene in my notes as like old technology because it's just so it's like fun. I don't know. That's why I like love watching older movies because you see how far we've come in like not even a full lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Like a couple of decades. And my grandparents, I live with them, and they had like 3 of those like, you know, the press record, like the tape recorders, like that were like,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, 2 loaves of bread worth.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh,
But I mean,
anyways.
even the scene where he's trying to avoid her from watching the commercial, like looking at just that scene, it's very contrived because putting that amount of screens in front of her in 1980 it wasn't natural. Like, who puts a TV on a dining table
Yeah.
in a restaurant?
That's-
Whereas nowadays it would have been on everybody's phone,
phone.
and it would
Right.
have been, you know,
Yes.
it would have made
Yes.
a lot more sense.
Yep.
So yeah, that was interesting. Any other notes, anybody? Go for it, Serena.
So I have some notes. I forgot to mention in favorite scenes that hilarious $10 bill fishing line scene
That was
they
good.
Oh, in the
throw-
beginning, yes.
Yeah,
He was
Yes.
I
literally
think that was
fishing for a
hilarious.
customer.
Yep.
I thought it was really messed up about the brotherly murder. They took
I was like-
competitiveness to the next murderous
So
level.
I didn't read the description and I was like,
Me
is he
neither.
gonna kill his brother? And I was like physically upset about
Yeah,
it.
me too,
It says
me
his
too.
brother dies.
Right in the
No,
right in like
neither-
the one
neither of us.
sentence synopsis.
I will say, actually, I found the death kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
It was like he
Yeah.
was like foaming at the mouth.
Like,
a
they
lot,
showed the
or they
whole
showed
thing.
him really like writhing
And-
in pain, and I was
right.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
It
have
was
issues with
disturbing.
like people taking advantage of elderly. Like that gets to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, understandably, I think. But so the whole scene where Mickey is like driving like a maniac, and he's just his
I hate
facial
that.
expressions in
Yeah.
that car. I'm like, I don't want to be watching
Yeah.
this right now.
Yeah, that's
It
how
was
I
just
felt
a
about
little
the
bit
scene.
too much for me.
I completely agree. I was actually I forgot about that. I was gonna mention that. Like it was hard to watch. Anyways, the last thing is the hilarious car surfing. Even though it was part of the motorcade scene, I forgot the part that he was car surfing.
He was car
my
surfing,
God,
yeah.
he
He
was
was
car
jumping from
surfing.
car to car.
yeah.
And it looked
Yes.
pretty realistic. It wasn't
Yeah.
like
It looked like it was
cheesy.
him, and it looked like
yeah.
it was him.
Yeah.
I really don't think
Yeah.
that they used a stunt double. I
agree.
mean,
Yeah.
it looked like it was him.
Because he tripped at one point and you were like,
Yep.
We know he doesn't die, but we're like,
Yeah, those pesky roof rack things.
So let's move on to our new question.
Oh yeah.
All right, who would everyone be in the movie?
Full disclosure, I met Erin tonight.
Oh, same here. Same here.
Oh, you
Yes.
too?
Yes.
I thought you guys knew each other because you're all
No,
from
They
the
know
same
each
town.
other.
Erin and I went to high school
Yeah.
together.
Anyway, yes. So I agree. Like, this will be a little.
This will
tough,
be a
but
little
I
hard.
think we can
That's
do
okay.
it.
We got this. We got this.
All right. So who should we start with? Oh God.
All right.
It's like yeah. It's
I
like,
know. All right, fine. Should we all say like who we think Betsy is?
all right. Yep.
All right. I definitely picked Manuel. Crotch grabbing Manuel and all.
Wow, that says a lot about your opinion of me. Damn.
No, you picked up on that man and you love him.
I
so
love that man so much. Oh my god. Guys.
is it your guy from?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Who is
It's the romance novel guy from *Romancing the Stone*.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right, Serena.
Oh, I'm next. I have 2 for Betsy.
Yep.
I couldn't decide.
You're gonna say Jeff. I know.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Jeff, but then you said it. Okay, I did say Jeff. I don't know why, but I got the superstitious vibe from you a little bit. And you know what's so funny? That one of the opening things you discussed was this Jeff and his superstitiousness, like in your favorite.
Listen, why take chances?
Right, right. You're literally the female Jeff.
Yeah.
In a way. I wanted to quote, like, in like little parentheses here, I have, this also means Betsy has all the hoes. So, bonus, she's got hoes.
I got the hookup. It's fine.
She's got those. And then,
Okay, so that's your number one. Who else do you have?
And then I reassessed, and then I had to just keep both. I have you also reincarnated as the safe driver girl. Okay.
That one might be the right one. That might be the right
almost
answer.
put that for here.
Oh my god.
I put rule following / safety first.
Yep.
I feel like she's a
recognize
10
that
and 2.
actress, which is weird because I think she's been in like 2 things in her entire career, and I recognize.
That
She
was
had a
good. That was
familiar
good.
face. But I think I get the vibe. I haven't been in the car with you much, but I get the 10 and 2 vibe from her. And like the click it or ticket, you know?
Erin, just to put you on the spot.
Oh, for
It's
Betsy.
fine. It's tough.
She won't get offended.
I picked the crotch grabbing Manuel for her. So anything you say,
I picked the one that gets all the hose.
Well, then I guess I would go with the Jeff.
Jeff.
Superstitious
That's
Jeff.
fair. That's fair.
And
Okay,
that's why
okay.
I love that you brought it up first thing. I was like, yes, I'm right.
The person I put for myself leads into who I also put for Tracey. So we're just gonna.
Roll
okay,
with it.
we'll go with me next.
I would be Freddie, and you would be Eddie.
Okay, so yes,
Did you put Freddie for yourself?
no, I put that for which one was the camera guy?
Freddie.
Freddie for Serena.
Okay, fair enough.
Wait. Which one was that again?
The camera.
The camera,
guys.
the Radio Shack guys.
Oh, okay.
That's I put
The
that
one
for you.
without the pacemaker thing.
Oh,
The
okay.
other
Yeah,
one.
The other
The
one, yeah.
black hair, yeah.
Yep.
I like how she breaks it down for me. She's like, not that, but the other one.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So who else? So
Wait,
you
why
have
did
So that was
Why did you choose that for you and Tracey?
I could just
I need an explanation.
well, first off, he was the cameraman, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got my
yeah.
background.
Producer.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, like they were doers. They weren't ethical doers, but they got
They
shit
got
done.
shit done.
They got shit done.
Yeah.
You guys get shit done. I actually, yeah.
So who'd you have for me, Serena?
I'm like, speaking of getting shit done, I remembered that you like true crime. And so, because of that, with a little like turn, I chose Rudy for you.
Mhm.
And Rudy, I
Kurt
put
Russell.
organized
Oh,
crime
Okay.
/ murder / cover up / planning.
Okay. All
And I
right.
just feel like
Okay.
you're a planner
All right.
/ get shit done.
I'm like sketchy and but I'm heart of gold and get shit done.
Yes.
He was
Okay.
smart. He
And
was
you have
smart.
great
He had
hair.
plans. He got
Great
I
hair.
have great hair.
Great hair.
Tracy with the good hair.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Erin, who do you think I am?
I had the creepy judge.
Yes!
Only for the fact for like the trinkets and gadgets and
Yes.
stuff.
Oh my
The
God.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
That was the only like obviously not for the chewing
Yep.
tobacco or anything of that.
Yep.
But the I just feel like that like you would have that stuff.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
or, I mean, you know, you just that was it.
That is accurate. Yes.
I may or may not have also picked the creepy judge for Erin, only because she's like all for the, but not for the bad thing, and I'm like literally for the chewing tobacco part because we just were talking about it, and I'm like, you know, I don't know. It was just funny.
Yep.
I'm like, I think she brought it up.
I picked for myself Jim the mechanic. I don't know what it was, but I felt like he was just along for the ride. He was like there and like he was. I don't know.
Is Jim the mechanic the one that kills?
funny.
He was a good sport.
He
Almost.
was a good sport.
All right, so we covered Tracey.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Erin?
All right.
Can I just like defend I picked the judge because she was also disgusted by the chewing tobacco thing.
Yeah.
As I was, and I didn't want to like pick like one of the strippers for her because I don't know her that well yet, so I didn't want to be like, "Ha, you're one of the strippers, big rowdy bitches."
That's what I picked for myself, so that's fine. I had no one else. I was like, I guess that'd be me.
Listen, all right, okay.
Booty shaking on
so
a car.
this is going back to there was like a couple of moments that you're like, nope, that's not gonna happen. That's not accurate.
Well, some of them have 2 or 3 kids in each car,
Yeah.
and there's only 200. That's like 800 kids that off those 3 buses. The math doesn't work.
the math. This is when you don't count the bullets.
Nope. There was one of the teenagers in the passenger seats of one of the cars was doing the math.
The rule book.
Oh my
He
god!
had, like,
Oh
a
my god!
driver's
I
ed rule
almost
book.
picked that person for you. I almost.
That
but then
was-
I was like I didn't know
Yeah.
her well. I didn't want to be like
Yeah,
offending.
that was who I had for Erin.
Yeah.
I picked Toby.
I
I'm sorry. He is the best actor in that film.
He
and
is.
he saved it. He alerted them to that the car was being uncovered.
yeah.
He acted his part. He was part of the team.
He was the hero.
He was
the
the
actual
He was
hero
the
of this
unsung
movie.
He was
hero.
the damn
He
hero.
was.
You were also the unsung.
Ugh. All right, and then that brings us to Serena.
Oh yeah.
Everybody forgets Serena for a second.
Wait a second.
Do
And
I-
you picked one of the strippers for yourself?
Yeah, I guess. But no, now that I'm thinking about it, I would agree with the kid.
Yes.
Okay.
The rule
all right,
follower kid,
okay.
because
Rule
I'm 100%
follower is
rule
alright.
follower. On Friday, I was gonna cross the street. I was walking with
She was
people.
gonna jaywalk.
It was the white man wasn't there yet, and I was like waiting, and my friend's like, "Let's just go," and it's a really busy, and I'm like, "No, I'm not going." So I waited. I stood, and it was like 10 seconds later, and it was finally clear. I could have totally jaywalked, but I was like, "No." I'm like, I'm rule followers. I'm like running through the crosswalk.
All right. Yep.
But yeah,
Perfect. I'm
Love
gonna
it.
change my judge to that one. So I had for myself.
Wait, don't say it. We'll say ours first, and then you say yours last.
Oh,
Tracy, Serena.
I had the camera guy, the Radio Shack
Oh,
guy.
okay. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
Yep.
You mentioned that. Yes. That's fair.
Radio Shack.
oh, I guess Radio Shack.
I worked at Radio Shack for like 2 years.
I had the guy with a million kids.
Oh my god. I like that I'm the guy with the million kids and not the mom.
No, the guy with the million
Right.
kids.
Because didn't you were like, what did you
We
say?
had
Nanny's
that
Nightmare.
station.
Nanny's
when I was
Nightmare.
there.
Nanny's
Yeah,
Nightmare.
A nanny nightmare right there. There was
Yep.
like 5 wicked, crazy, or 6 even, like wild, hyperactive boys, and I was like, "Yep, that's my nightmare job."
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Serena. Who did you put for yourself?
Did you pick a person for me?
Oh, the Radio
She-
Shack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was like
all
go
right.
for it, yeah.
I put Barbara selfishly so I could kiss Kurt Russell. I
That's
said,
fair. That's
Hey,
to
you know what?
smooch dimples is what my notes here say. Selfishly to smooch dimples.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
that's,
And-
hey, can't blame you.
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of liked her character, and I was like, I could aspire to be her one day. So, anyways,
That was definitely a daydream right there. Did
That
you
was.
see that?
Her eyes like glazed over
Yep,
for
for
just
that like
a
quick
split
second, and then
Yep.
she like snapped back to it.
yeah.
All right. Everybody good? Yeah. All right. So last question: Martini shot. Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh.
Oh, here. Situation.
I guess I would.
You don't have any caveats.
I don't know. It was funny. It wasn't my humor. I think is
No,
what it
yeah.
comes down to. But it was enjoyable for that genre. It was good.
And like I said before, it's surprising that foreign women liked it because there was definitely some major like boobage going on.
Well, and I almost
Yeah.
feel like we went into it
Knowing
knowing that
that,
was going to
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
and it's a sign of the times and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So it is
Having
what it
said
is.
all that, it was
still
still
not a-
funny.
Yeah, it's still not okay, but because it was 1980, we like let them off the hook a percentage.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
even though we
Yeah.
shouldn't, and we
Yeah.
should totally be outraged.
We are outraged.
This is blasphemy.
Movie banned.
I will give it a half yes.
Okay.
A half yes.
Okay.
So yeah, all right.
Boom.
Good job, Erin.
Yeah, good choice.
Erin's
Yeah,
here.
Good choice.
Erin's here.
That's about it for this episode. Thanks for joining us. We'll be posting what our next movie will be on Twitter tomorrow, so head on over there and hit that follow button. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our handle for both is @themoviemellies. To find more great episodes, head on over to our website, www.millennialsatthemoviehouse.com.
So until next time, we're millennials, and we'll see you at the movie house.
Woo!
Good job.
Erin's here.